Alright, this next exercise is to make precision holes in your phone case. I will use, for simplified purposes, the same square that we created in our previous exercise with the lips on top. Now, most phones have a border that is so low that it will only allow you to create an opening that goes all the way up, because if you would only do the hole, you don't have enough material on top to keep it stable. So this is what we're going to do. Now, we need to put a sketch on the outside border where we want to create the opening. And this is how it presents itself. Now, this is very important because if you measure from this border, you don't take into account the space of the border that you already added to the size of the phone. So we want to take this outside wall and project it to the outside here. In order to do that, I go on my Project Geometry option and click on this wall. And as you notice, you see now a yellow line here. This is where the inside ends. It looks like outside of the case because you have this curve here. But if I put it back on the front view, you see it's actually on the inside. And the distance that you see here is the thickness of the wall that you created in your phone case. So I only do this on one side because this is the side from where I measure. I also want to do the same thing for the ground. So I project geometry, and this edge here is what I want to see. Actually, front view. Okay, now I have the line that shows where the bottom starts and the line that shows where the wall starts. So my phone is inside these parameters. I use the rectangle and just do a square, not constraining it to anything. So I can still move lines around as I wish. The outside doesn't really matter how high it is because it will just cut only till your border. Now I need to measure how far away the buttons are from my outside border. So let's say I have a distance from the border that is 0.75. The total space that I have for the bottoms would be 1.25. And I'm making these sizes up. Your sizes will be different. You will have to measure them. Now, it is important to know that you don't want to be right where the buttons are. So you need to add some space. You add it to the side here, and you want to have about 0.0 plus 0.2, which makes it 0.1 on each side. Maybe this is a little too little, so do 0.4, which gives you 0.2 on each side. Now this would still be on the edge unless we subtract half of this from this measurement. Now we have the opening that will allow us to access all the buttons. The distance to the ground, is not that important. You just need to make sure it's above the ground line and below from where the button starts. So you can do it by eye. Just make sure it's not too high because otherwise it goes through the middle of the button. So you keep it a little lower, but you want some space here because that will add stability to your phone. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I use extrude. This is my area to extrude. Make sure you select cut, and the distance is, you can use 2 or the thickness of the wall, but 2 requires that you select the surface where it has to go to. No, I cannot do that because otherwise it ignores the lip. Look what happened. It leaves that here. So I just go and create a distance that will go beyond the little lip. So that could be 0.1. And now I have my opening. Next thing you can do is you can create little curves down here. This will also add stability. Use the fillet. Have it about 0.2 should be more than enough. Actually, much too much. 0.05 should be more appropriate. Let's try 0.1. This looks good. I do the same on the other side. On the top it will be more difficult because you have the lip, so we have to use another way to do that there. I just show you how it would be if you just did it. As you can see, it will not cut off the lip. So if I apply this here, it will not do it. So in order to do that, we turn it, we put a sketch on the outside wall, we use project geometries to get all the shape, and now I will create an arc and I can just make sure it's tangent. So I can create an arc like that and then use the tangent constraint on both sides, and then you can go and dimension a radius, possibly the same that you had here. So let's put 0.1, and now with the line tool you close this loop, finish your sketch, and guess what? Extrude, a negative extrusion of this little corner. And now we have this rounded too. So this is it.